What's going on there, YouTube? It's Gores here, giving you guys a deck profile for my ADAMANCIPATOR Sprite deck. I took it to the regional, and honestly, the deck performed really well, but I, as a player, did not do event planning very well. Ended up taking a free game loss, and then ended up getting accidentally dropped with an X2 record. But then we came back and went to the sneak peek and won this mat with the deck. And the deck is only going to get better thanks to Sprite Sprint. So let's just get into the deck profile, look at the ratios, and see what's going on. So we have 3 copies of ADAMANCIPATOR Researcher, 3 copies of ADAMANCIPATOR Analyzer, and 3 copies of ADAMANCIPATOR Seeker. These are basically our excavators. They're going to let us search for our level 4 lower non-tuner rocks, summon them, and then let us combo off. Also, Researcher and Seeker is our level 2, so they get to synergize with the Sprite cards. Next up for our non-tuner rocks, we are playing the 3 Dragite, the 3 Supplier, and the 3 Guardian, 3 Doki Doki, and 3 Kartorin. So we're playing 15 non-tuner rocks, so our chance of hitting a rock monster off the Adamanticipators is extremely high. Guardian protects our combo, Supplier can search Guardian, and we also have our Dragite, which is going to let us draw cards. Dragite plus Adamantipator Signs is full Sprite combo. And then we also have our Doki Doki and our Kartorin. Kartorin gives us an additional normal summon and a body from the graveyard that summons itself and lets us combo with the Sprite monsters. A lot of this deck is based off of variants, so those 15 cards really matter. For the Sprite engine, we are running 3 Sprite Blue, 1 Sprite Jet, 1 Sprite Red, and 1 Sprite Smashers. We're not running any starters because we don't want to lock ourselves into level 2s too early. Next up, one of our really good combo cards is Hoppier Squadron. A lot of the times what we'll do is we'll use our Cupid Pitch and our level 4 non-tuner to make Baron, and once we synchro into Baron, Cupid Pitch is going to trigger, burn our opponent for 1,000, and search our deck for the Hoppier Squadron, which will let us quick sync on our opponent's turn. For the mandatory spells, you have to play 3 Adamantipator Signs, and you have to play 3 Dark Ruler, no more in this format in this deck. Dragite is absolutely insane going second, and a lot of the times Dark Ruler is just a contingency to see how they react to your plays. I played that a lot where I would still play with the Adamantipator board to see if I could OTK, and then if I couldn't, I could just Dark Ruler and break their board anyway. But most of the time, Dark Ruler is just there to stop things like Totally Awesome and cards like that just like lock us out of the game. And then for our 4 flex spots, we play the 3 Ready Fusion and 1 Instant Fusion. Super on the fence about this still. Alvain does let us get some insane extenders, and they also give us 4 free cards to side out when we're getting too like close to time or something like that. So deck is super consistent though, y'all. So that's it for the main deck. We're gonna get into the extra deck now. So we're playing the Alvain because it's our target for the Ready Fusion. And then for synchros, we play 2 level 4s, Herald and Cupid Pitch. Hoppier lets us make Herald on our opponent's turn using the Sprite Elf monster to summon back, for example, Sprite Red. We can negate with Sprite Red and then summon Hoppier Squadron and make Herald and then lock Tier Limit out of the game. And then the Cupid Pitch lets us search for the Hoppier and also gets us to Baron because it increases its level by 2. Next up, we have the Adamantipator Trio. Leonite's insane in this because Sprite Elf is a fire monster, so we can actually use the effect to bring back our Koakimiru Guardian, or even bring back Raptite and banish cards out of the graveyard like Tier Limit monsters activating. So super solid card there in this deck. And then Dragite just letting us crack boards is super strong, especially since it doesn't target. Next up, we have Crystal Wing. I opted for Crystal Wing in this deck over Savage Dragon because it came up more. Yeah, we could put like the second Sprite Elf or Sprite card in the graveyard or Link 2 in the graveyard for the Boral, but then like usually we're locked into level 2s at that point, so this card is just a lot stronger, and it also plays around Nibiru really well, and it also gives us a contingency against like the Despia deck since it gets the power boost when it fights something that's level 5 or higher. Same is true for Sword Soul as well. And then Baron, of course, we basically recycle Baron a lot in this deck. We'll get the negate, and then we'll put it back, and we'll summon back Dragite, summon a level 2, and then make it again after we clear their board with Dragite, and then they have to deal with a Baron negate if we didn't kill them. And then for double level 4 contingencies, Gallant Granite, sometimes we'll open up with like Analyzer and then get the level 4. So we just overlay these 2, and it lets us search for Researcher, which gets us the level 2, which lets us pop off into the Sprite engine. And then, speaking of the Sprite engine, we're playing 2 Sprite Elf and 1 Sprite Gigantic. Since Sprite Elf is a link to, it is going to be bringing back our cards a lot, and it's also going to give us the ability to exceed into the Gigantic. Sprite Elf lets us bring back our Researcher and just combo off from there, making our Cupid Pitch and stuff like that, depending on how our hits were. And then the Gigantic Sprite also can let us summon the Adamancipators in a pinch, but most of the time we're just using it to grab blue, and then either if we're missing Smashers, we'll get Jet, or if we're missing red, we'll get red. And then our flex spots in the extra deck, these can be anything you guys want. Honestly, I've thought about playing Underworld Goddess, but this is what I played for the regional, and it was the Mascarenas and the Appaloosa and the Almirage. So onto the side. 3 evenly, 3 dimensional barrier, and 3 anti-spell. So the anti-spell is just so that when people see what we're playing, they're like, oh, they're big combo. We can just flip this and turn off Dark Ruler No More and turn off cards. Like, we can definitely turn them away if they're on the runic strategy. It's anti-spell. A card wins games. And then Dimensional Barrier can just shut people down completely. So, and then evenly matched for going second. And for the spells, we're just playing 3. It's 3 Lightning Storm and 3 Nibiru. This is just for going second. It helps us break a lot of boards. So yeah, other than that, there's not really much to say about the deck profile. I'll be uploading updated combos now that Darkwing Blast is legal with Sprite Sprint, so that way you guys are getting more relevant content for the deck. But other than that, the deck performed absolutely phenomenal. I really enjoyed playing it. Shout out to Palmanga Mats. Make sure you guys check them out in the description box below. You can use my promo code to save 10% off of any of their products. This is Gores, signing off.